Welcome, people. Welcome to my global Philatelic project channel. Here we will talk about philately. That means stamps, or timbre, or sellos if you want, or brief market, even francobolli or snatchki. So let's go. The topic today is Andorra again. This would be a comparison between the Andorra French collection and Andorra Spanish collection. It will be really interesting, full of number and curiosity. So relax, take your time as always, but of course, first of all, music. In this video, we will make an analysis of the collection of French and Spanish Andorra. The first video was dedicated to why we have two collections for a so small state. Second video was dedicated to how they start. Do you remember the fake beginning of Spanish Andorra and so on? Now we make a conclusive and definitive, we can say, analysis of the collection of these two, of these two collections. So, very good. We start to say that during this video I will speak and you will see the image of the different stamps from one side and the other, Spanish and French. So, don't worry if you will not see my face, it's not so important. Important are stamps. So, first of all, as we saw, in the 1928, stamps of Andorra start to be done. And until now, we talk about the end of 2023, they made 546 stamps. Stamps and blocks, of course. This is Spanish Andorra. French Andorra, they start in 1931, until the end of 2023, made 921 stamps and blocks. This is evident that the French Andorra made much more stamps than Spanish Andorra, more or less the double. But there are, as to say, a wave in this production, because in the beginning both the collection doesn't have a lot of stamps. For example, French Andorra start in 1961 to grow up their collection, and from this period on, every year they got minimum one set. So from 1961 is constant the production, the issue of stamps. In Andorra, in the Spanish Andorra, we can see that the same, as to say, constant of the production of stamps starts from 1972, so 10 years later, okay? Also for this, Spanish Andorra produce less stamps, but because it starts later to produce a constant amount of stamps year by year. From that moment, of course, the year 1980 and also 2000 was a good moment for this collection. We can say good moment, I'm talking about 10, 15 stamps, 15 issue every year. So it's not an enormous amount of stamps, but we have to consider that we have to multiply for 2. So for a small state like Andorra, is in any case a big amount of stamps. Okay, so these are the general number. I would like to underline 2 factors. First of all, French Andorra stamps were made in Paris. So of course, the design, the graphic, got the strong influence of a French style, we can say, that all of us can recognize in the stamps. You look at this, how evident that we are talking about French style. Okay? The opposite is for Spanish Andorra. The stamps were made and are made in Madrid, and of course they got a Spanish style. Also in this case, you can see in these stamps how different is the style of one side and of the other side. That's interesting and very good. It's quite normal. They didn't invent a particular style for Andorra. They simply took the one that they got. French, for example, made the same for their colony, that use more or less the same graphic. But anyway, everything is normal. But which is the topics that we can recognize in both collections? Okay, first of all, we have to consider that in both collections there were stamps connect with the topic Europe. So every year, not from the beginning of the Europe collection, but every year French and Spanish Andorra made or are part of a European stamps family. So connected with the general topic that Europe decided to put in their stamps. And so this is important, but there are also other celebrations, local monuments, local church or other that are typical of Andorra: folkloristic celebration, tradition, popular tales, and so on. In the beginning, I'm talking about around year 1617, the stamps shows monuments of or old churches or bridges or towers or landscapes of Andorra. So the topic was strictly connected with the life of Andorra. After it started to talk about Olympic Games or I don't know events out of this small country. So it enlarged the perspective, and now really stamps that talk about Andorra, strictly about Andorra, is, well, not so much. Other topics that we can meet in both collections are, for example, Christmas. Christmas time is quite normal that both of the collection got, I don't want to say every year, but often. Then mushrooms, or in general nature, so birds or flowers or particularly local animals, something like reptiles or something like this. And so nature, sports, Europe, monuments, traditions, and Christmas, and these are very, very important. These are topics that appear in a lot of time in the Andorra collection, and of course celebrity, Spanish or French celebrity. One curiosity about the flags and the coat of arms that appear often, also this topic in both collections. Andorra stamps shows the flag of Andorra. That's quite normal. Give a look to the flags of Andorra. They got 3 vertical colors, and is the connection between Spanish yellow and red color and French red and blue colors. Both countries connected in the flag. And what about the coat of arms? The coat of arms of a bishop, a Spanish bishop that got the, I don't want to say the property, but the leader from the Spanish point of view of this territory. So the flag is, as to say, neutral flag. The coat of arms is bishop symbol. Okay, that's quite curious because I don't remember that in other states there is a so evident religious symbol in the flag. Maybe in Malta flag there is a cross, but not of this local bishop coat of arms. And that's very, very interesting. They use it for the definitive, and so a lot of time it appears the coat of arms of this religious authority. Another interesting thing is that French Andorra doesn't make FDC. So no FDC. And this is, well, good for the pocket of a collector that make this kind of collection. Anyway, The idea is these are two small collections. The main expensive part is the beginning part until year, wow, 50, 55, 1955. Yeah, we can see this. And after the costs are, well, we can say popular. Of course, if you want to add FTC in the Spanish part, it's evident that the cost increase. Or if you want to add the sheetlet, that means the way in which the postal system distribute the stamps in all the postal office, well, not so much in Andorra, of course you multiply the price. But if you stop your collection to value set and block or booklet, but booklet are really not so much, well, the cost of the collection is quite acceptable. So we can talk about 50 euro per year or maybe less in the past. So I think that is a good collection with a very interesting topics inside, with a very good graphic and with two different kind of graphics. So you can compare them and not so expensive. So why not to start or to have it? I sincerely like it so much, and so I got it also with the FDC and the sheetlet when are collectible. When this sheetlet is almost got no sense. But anyway, so this is the art of Andorra and what I would like to show to you. How they start, how is it, and why is in this there are two collections. Very good, thank you very much to follow me again in this video. See you next time with another video. Tomorrow we will talk about news, but next week we will talk about again curiosity. Anyway, Philatelic, bye, see you soon. Ciao.